Hello gamers, it's anime collectors and more, and welcome to a special anime and gaming podcast with your host, Rufy the Third, which is me. Throughout the times on YouTube, I showcase my best and worst times of my gameplay as AnimeHokageHD. Now is the time to do something different for once for quite a while. Okay, you Weiss Schwarz players or card collectors, next year they're releasing the English edition of Turafu Darkness 2, both trial and booster packs. But for those who do not know the series, you're in luck, because this podcast is all about the Turafu series. This will be a special part series where I will discuss about the series, the characters, the storyline, themes, as well as the merchandise and such, along the way, and all the way to the release of the product next year. And of course the birthdays for each year, the characters. So, let's get started to the prologue. As you can see, the Turafu series is classified as a NSFW, which is not safe for work anime due to the high intensity of nudity and ecchi goodness. So, if you're not into this sort of thing, then do not watch the anime. Hey, be warned. There will be a lot of spoilers in this. So, if you haven't watched it, then I recommend you don't listen to the podcast for now. Because my word is law for watching anime. We all have our own views on what we like or dislike, which is fair enough. But if you do not like the series without further justification, don't watch. Simple. Let the real fans enjoy the unique and quirky rom-com taste that has swept the anime and manga for 10 years. Yes, the series is now 10 years old. So, here's a review on what the series is about. Turafu is a ecchi and fan service genre series written by Hasami Sake and illustrated by none other than the author of Black Cat and Kentaro Yabuki. The storyline focuses on a teenage boy named Rito Yuki who has trouble with his love life into trying to confess to a girl he loves named Haruna Sarenji, which he had a crush on ever since he started grade school. Suddenly, while soaking in his misery in the bath due to his unexpected fails with trying to confess as his love to her, a girl named Lala Satorin Devruk with no clothes appears out of nowhere in his bath on the run from outer space for the planet of Devruk, where she is the heir to the throne. However, it's not just an ordinary girl, but wants to be a rebel and choose her own path and decisions after running away from home, and decides to marry Rito so she could stay on Earth permanently. And yes, Lala is a part alien, part devil human because of the tail. However, on one condition: if Rito can protect Lala from her suitors and meet the king's expectancies, or suffer the consequences of being destroyed along with the whole Earth. So therefore, the fate of this world rests on the shoulders of his own love life. From there begins Rito's love troubles and romantic comedy snafus throughout his teenage life, trying to confess to his true love to Haruna. So, do you want to find out the meaning of Turafu title? Here it is. The title for Turafu is actually a pun and play of words for the actual meaning love trouble, describing the harem aspect of the series. So practically, there's sort of like hijinks with trying to confess with love. There's more, or with if the love triangles, but I'll get onto it later on. But right now, we now go into the main characters. We have seen into basic characters, but let's look in depth with their own persona and lives. This covers the first season of the series to start with the foundation. There will be spoilers, so word of caution. If you don't want to be spoiled, then I suggest you don't listen to this podcast. Firstly, we have Rito Yuki, an ordinary teenage boy who is on the chase for the love of his life when he was young for a girl named Haona. He has a youngest and reliable sister, Mikan Yuki, who helps him around the house from cleaning to cooking, since the parents aren't able to be with them at all times due to their jobs. As the mother's the fashion and model, the father's a manga artist. His birthday is on the October 16th, so practically if you missed it, then it's more of a happy belated birthday to him. He's considered as a kind and modest person around others, despite being in unexpected events of his modesty of the many girls throughout the series, even though it's accidental. At first, he has a fear of women due to his shyness and his own composure, because on the outside he's pretty aggressive to others on certain situations, but on the inside he's pretty shy and timid. But later onwards throughout the series, he manages to get along with them as a friend, as well as try to deal with his gynophobia. If you don't know what gynophobia is, it's actually a fear of women. How is this similar to my view? If you watch Mayochiki, the main character, Sakamichi Kinjiro, to find the pun, if you mix the three letters of his first name with the three letters of the last, it will spell out a wordplay of chicken. He has a tendency of freaking out when he comes with girls, which involves in having a gush of nosebleeds. The difference with Rito is that he tends to get beaten up or something unexpected happens with any girls near him, or practically when he does something perverted, yes. It's mostly the 80 feel within the high that is preventing him trying to confess his love to Haona, as practically he has a fear of being rejected if he tries to successfully confess to her. Next, we had the first key feminine character, Lara Satorin in Deviru, a girl who was on the run from her home planet after she didn't want to choose her arranged suitors, who then manages to teleport into Ritsuro's bath unexpectedly and naked, and tries to escape from being taken away back to her home planet. Lila has pink hair and green eyes with personality. He tends to be quite childish in a good way, more of an oddball, and has a joyous smile and tends to stay happy no matter what situation is there along the way. She rarely gets mad at times, and her hobbies include inventing specific and futuristic toys that can be quite dangerous to humans from what she makes. So take my course. If you're in Rito's position and you see one of her inventions, do not touch them at all costs. Seriously, it's not a joke. It may have some nasty consequences at hilarious moments. At first, she is seen with a quirky costume with a weird character on top with the weird eyes, which is Peke, a costume-changing robot that can talk and help her in certain situations. Well, nearly. As well as her hairpin in trying to keep the costume she is wearing functioning. However, if it's hit, the costumes will change randomly, but if it's knocked off, she loses her costume and becomes naked, and chaos will act all around, especially with the boys. See episode 8. So that is pretty sensitive around others. her birthday is on July the 7th, and her younger sisters refer to her as her role model. But I'll get onto her sisters right on. Now it comes to Rito's crush, Haruna Saironji. Haruna is Rito's target of love, as she is the one who believed they did not destroy the school flowers when they were in the preschool times. That was in one of the episodes. She is a kind, patient, and understanding person, but has a fear of the supernatural. That's around in the mid-series of Season 1. Throughout the series, we see a development of her own desires, especially with her also trying to gain courage into confessing to Rito that she also has feelings to him as well. Except for the love triangle with Lala, as she does want to break up the friendship. Nah, because practically that can have a bit of a short impact on them if one manages to confess successfully and the other one fails, and then the heart is broken. Now we have the character that is the most popular within the whole series, a similar character designed from Black Cat and the same seiyuu, which is the Japanese voice actor and actress, Konjiki no Yami, aka Yami, aka Golden Darkness. Yes, and of course, aka Eve. At first, she considers Rito as a target. What target? Target of what? Oh well, but it'll be revealed what the type of target she is, but you have to read the manga. She has a tsundere feel to him later on in the series after he offered Rito some taiyaki. Watch the first season on the episode of Golden Darkness. From there, every time you watch a certain episode, you can actually see Yami eating taiyaki nearly all the time. She hates anything that is classified as ecchi, which can lead to a deadly beating by her. And of course, since it's almost Christmas, her birthday is on December the 24th, which is Christmas Eve. So I know it's early, but happy birthday. Hey, may you keep seeking your target of love and eating tons of taiyaki with your best friend, Mikan. Just try not to beat up Rito too much that it may kill him. Well, that wraps up the first part of the podcast. In the next podcast, I will discuss the arcs through Season 1 and 2, briefly leading to the Darkness Saga. So I'm Luffy the Third. Thanks for watching or hearing. See you then. And of course, happy gaming and watching anime. Hey.